Good morning, guys. It is the day we've been waiting for. It is a foggy Sunday morning at Sebring International Raceway. We just got the Mustang unpacked at the pit, and we have now gridded to start the day. Next up is the driver's meeting.
Saying the troublemakers are in this room?
No, never. Not at all. No, I'm just telling you guys how much I love you, and I just wanted that personal connection with each and every one of you.
The first order of business are orientation laps. So before anything gets going during the day, we start with a couple orientation laps. If you have an instructor, you have your instructor with you. And really it's just a matter of getting familiar with the track, familiar with the car that you're in. And for me, this is super important because this is the first time I've ever driven this car around Sebring. Gonna look at braking zones, shift points, really just get familiar with it. After the orientation laps, I am first up on track. So we're pretty much gonna come right off and grid the car and go right back out. And from that point forward, we are going flat. It's still super foggy here, so I'm not exactly sure if we're gonna be on schedule today. They might be doing a fog warning. And would you know it, they just scrubbed orientation laps. We gotta wait for the fog to lift, and we're going to basically start hot. So, yeah, a little nervous now, but should be a good one.
With that 30-minute fog delay, I got ahead of schedule and took some time to sort of gather my thoughts and prepare myself for what was about to happen. It's always important to take a few minutes before you go out on track to gather your thoughts and picture the drive in your mind. Without having any warm-up, I was really nervous at this point, and I made sure that the session had already started before I went and joined the track. I didn't want to join with the majority of traffic just because I felt like I needed some space. I wanted to learn the car, learn the new brakes, learn the tires, and really figure out where the braking point was. So with that in mind, we got out and we got on track. So let's see how it went. So, remembering what I said, we are not approaching the limit of the car on this session. Our only goal is to get reacquainted with the track and to familiarize ourselves with the car and how it reacts under certain loads. With a few laps under our belt, we can begin to push harder now that the car has some temperature. We're still allowing ourselves some room in the braking zone as we're approaching the limit. this point, the car is beginning to rotate as the tires get hotter. Take the checkered flag for our first of 4 sessions on track. Okay guys, we are ready to start our next session, session number 2 of the day. Sitting here in the grid, just lined up, ready to go. So gotta have the helmet on, otherwise I'd take it off to talk to you guys. But yeah, so far so good. The first session was great. You know, we definitely left a lot of room for error on our braking points and such. Car was turning low 240 pace, which, for our first session ever on track with it, learning everything, it's pretty okay. Definitely want to get the car into the 230s today. I think we can easily attain that. We're going to start, focusing more on the braking points this session. It's the second one of the morning, and then we have 2 more after lunch. So we got about 2 minutes until we're on track, and we will go.
You like that?
No, it's a blast.
I was, at first I was thinking Camaro, but then I saw the Mustang. I was like, oh no, my bad, crap. Just go with it.
So, honestly, this is the first day with it. Last session was pretty solid, just learning the brakes essentially, and once we get the braking points down, she'll be quick. So it's doing okay.
Good.
Yeah, no complaints. Thanks. I really hit a good rhythm for the rest of this session, and I wound up catching my friend Henry, who has a silver Porsche GT4, and we went back and forth for a few laps, so definitely enjoy this next bit.
Okay guys, it is lunch and we are just here taking a break. So far 2 sessions in the bag and it's going just as I expected, actually a little bit better. So right now the car is at a 2:37 pace. My GoPro sadly quit on me along with my lap timer. I didn't have enough battery in my phone to keep it going. So we know the car is in the mid 230s right now on track, which is great. You saw that awesome footage of me just hanging with the GT4. We were both going just about flat out, so it's awesome to see. So much fun. And like I said, now it's lunch and we are going to go do a track tour. Now I'm going to bring the camera with me and we're going to go with my dad who is here with me at this event. And we're going to just, you know, point out some things on track and show you what to look for, you know, if you ever find yourself out here on Sebring.
That new helmet is nice.
You like it?
Especially for putting the earpiece in. Chattering, the wheel will be bumpy through here.
Well, yeah, it's crazy because they just repaved it, but the ABS just goes nuts. Are you taking curb on this or you're taking no curb?
Just on the edge.
Okay. For the suspension mods that this car has, it's been, you know, carrying more speed than I really expected it to carry. You know, to be at 237 right now with traffic is really good pace for this car. Just to recap, I've only modified the suspension with Sportline springs. Everything else is stock Mustang. It's not even a performance pack setup. And if we have a clean run next session, I could easily see this car going 235 or better. So I'm going to set that as our goal. I really think we can hit 235 today. We're charging up the cameras, getting everything ready for the lap timer as well, so we have our analytics to see how the laps go, and we're going to include that in the next session. Right now it's 1 o'clock and we have a few minutes until we're back on session. My dad's got seniors on track right now, so we'll get some shots of him. Since we have a few minutes on our hand, let's take a walk. Let's see what other cars are here at this event. I'm the only Mustang. I don't know why. You know, usually there's a few muscle cars here. There is a Camaro Z28 on Hoosier Slicks, and he's fast. But let's just go check out some of these things. There's some cool stuff in the paddock. So many GT3s at this event. Hi, Peter. Hi. Hey, Peter. Hi, Megan. So, mid-session in blue, somebody actually just went off, so we're looking to get more details on that. Never like to see somebody go off on track, but it actually cut the blue session that my dad... Ooh. Jeff! What are you doing, Jeff?
Slow down. Let's photobombing.
Photobombing? Stop. This was my first ever instructor, by the way. Jeff Gregg. Good guy.
That's his best ever instructor.
Best ever instructor, that's right. Like I was saying, you never like to see somebody go off on track here. You know, they usually take so many steps and precautions to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'll update you when I hear more. Hello, beautiful. Woo! White on white Carrera GT. Hello.
This is the only one in the U.S.
How long have you had it for?
Since Brandy knew.
Was it an
05?
05?
It was towards the end of the production run.
Uh-huh.
And I guess at that point they were kind of deciding whether to go to 06s, but then they decided to stay with 5. But this was number 1040 in the run.
Wow. Have you had it out here yet?
I won't put it on track.
No? Too much to risk.
Yeah. I guess somebody went off, huh?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they have the ambulance out there. That Carrera GT is so sexy. I think we would all want one if we could actually afford one. But like the owner said, the only one in America, white on white. Whew. So anyway, they're getting the wreck cleared off track. I am being called to go out for my 3rd run, so let's get it. Okay guys, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes until the start. We're a little late to gridding, so we're actually kind of in the back of the line here. All these people to my left are going to be going first, and then they're going to let our lane go. Oh, he's got a for sale sign. That's a great way to advertise your car for sale. That's funny. That is all set. Timer on. Good to go. Double check, triple check, quadruple check. My temps are good, brake pedals back to normal. All right, like we practiced before, guys, smoothness. That's going to be our goal, smoothness and correct braking. Always being mindful of our brake temperature. We are not vented. We desperately do need vented rotors, but so far I have not had an issue. So we will see how this goes. Starting to get a little low on gas. I think I got enough to get through this session though. I'm gonna be on fumes though afterwards.
Guy crashed. That's why everybody's been off the track. They've been cleaning it up. I mean, he tore his car up pretty good just as you're exiting 16, so there's liable to be fluid, slippery. It might be slipperier than what it has been.
Okay, did you see it? You said it was right in front of you?
He was, you know, I mean, we came in right after when he stopped spinning. So, I mean, you could see it and the dust was still in the air. So
wow. What car was it?
The red 944.
Jeez. Poor guy.
I gave him a point by, and, oh, yeah. But he went right into the concrete part. I think he missed the tire barriers. I mean, that car is tore up. But there's liable to be fluids. Or
yeah, I'll watch it over there. I'll watch it for sure the whole session.
Yeah, because he was, it might be like 100 yards, you know, if you exit the turn because it loops around, but you probably see it's probably just something to be on or your warm-up lap.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Be cognizant of.
Here we go. So like I said, the majority of the cars here are Porsches. We have a Focus RS up here. Good to see.
So now we're starting our third session of the day. I also managed to hit my fastest lap of the day during this session, so I'll include the full lap here. Overall, I really nailed this session coming up, so I hope you guys enjoy watching it. this point, I can really feel my front tires starting to grease over, so you'll see very soon the effects of that. After almost driving off the track, I decided to pull it back for the next few corners to see if I can get the tire temperature down. I tried a sharp turn in here at turn 7 to test the front left to see if I had grip, and I did. So it seemed like the problem wasn't that bad. However, you'll see at turn 10 that it definitely was still a problem. At this point, I knew I almost had no front grip to rely on, so I let the red 911 that I had put all that work into passing get by me, and I decided to really just pull back the rest of the lap and try to get as much temperature out of the tires as I possibly could. I took this time to also check my coolant and engine temps, and I was definitely running too hot.
We're at 216 coolant, 232 cylinder head temp. We're running a little hot, guys, so we're gonna back it off a little bit, let the car come back into its own, and then get back on it. Starting to overdrive the car a little bit. We don't want that.
This wound up being the last full lap of the session, and I still cut a 2:37 on this lap. With the car cooled, I had enough time and grip to be able to catch that same red 911 on the same lap.
Okay, so that third session is over. Let's recap. I was talking to you in the car a little bit, not sure if it came out or not with the wind noise, but overall, super happy with that session. We got 2:36. That's a great pace. I improved upon it by 1 second. And, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get anything noticeably faster than that. Let traffic go. I overdrove the car the last, couple laps of the session. The tire was getting very slick, with pressure and temperature, and I was just pushing. So we backed it off. We let a car pass, and had another go for last lap, and it was another 2:37. So overall, great session. I've already hit my goal, mid 2:30 time with the car. We're just gonna go out and have fun and enjoy ourselves. So I'm gonna start getting ready, and we're gonna hit it. All right, we just grabbed some spare 93 that the fellows over at Zot's had. I needed a little bit of extra gas. And now we're gonna go on track. The session's been hot for about 5 minutes, so we're a little bit late, but that's okay. Still got a 30-minute session to get through. Thank you. A ritual. It's earned its stripes. So we're gonna put it right here next to our dragon sticker. It's another bucket list item crossed off. All right, let's peel it back.
Voila.
Voila. She's conquered it. All right, that's a wrap, guys. We are driving out of the track. Everybody's packing up, heading home. And I am whipped. It takes so much energy out of you just to do one track day, let alone these 2-day events that this one actually was. Overall, this event went better than expected. It was an absolute success. We got the 5.0 to do a 236.3, which is absolutely moving for what this car is. I had no fade in the brakes at all today. They were rock solid. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less from these things, though. I mean, the 4 pistons alone kind of get a little bit of a bad rap, you know. They're not those 6-piston Brembos that everybody swears by, but you know, you put a high temp pad in there with, you know, the right fluid, and you're gonna be just fine in most cases. Sebring is known for being very hard on brakes. You do have these 2 very long, you know, straightaways to help cool them, which is, you know, awesome. Overall, my dad, Scott Sr. here, is behind me. He's absolutely beaming. We had such a successful event, and we're gonna be back here. So, you know, next thing up on the list for the GT is, you know, new rubber, get something more sticky. And, you know, maybe we'll do dampers and sway bars. Who knows? But we're looking forward to the next event. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had an absolute blast putting it together for you guys. The track prep, you know, traveling to Sebring, staying here for a weekend, the actual event itself. It was a blast to do it, and if you ever have a chance to do a track day yourself, I highly recommend it. Give this video a like, smash that like button right now. You know, it was a lot of work to get this thing together for you guys, but I had an absolute blast doing it, like I said. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you want me to keep doing track events like this for the channel. It was an absolute blast. But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. We will catch you in the next video. Have a good one.